So, welcome everybody to the Go Champions League stream. I'm Dabu from Germany. You're watching Virtus.pro against mousesports. It is the second map, the first one, Cobblestone, and it's 16-12 in favor of the Polish side. They let mousesports get close, but in the end they shut them down. It's, you know, like a girl that first teases you and then says, no, you're not getting there. And I actually expected Virtus.pro to do that. Winning the game, of course, not making it as close as they did. They were in front 12-6 at one point, if I'm not mistaken, or it was no, actually, yeah, 12-6, I think, or 12-7, something like that. So they had quite a big lead, but they were on the terrace side on cash, so it is kind of on cobblestone. So it is kind of understandable that they didn't put it to the end right there, right then. Now we are on cash though, and it is the pick of mousesports. The Germans want to win their first map in the league. They didn't win any games so far, so they still have a few things to make up for. They especially hurtful loss against Copenhagen Wolves, 11-16 on Mirage and on Cobble. So that's the game that they were supposed to win and didn't win. Now they are up against Virtus.pro, who didn't win against TSM in the SLTV Star Series finals last weekend, just a few days ago. If you want to see what I was doing there, take a look at the galleries on hltv.org. Every picture was taken by me and was edited by Peter, of course. Shout out to the crew of the Star Series and shout out to the crew of the Go Champions League, giving me the chance to cast this awesome tournament. $30,000 up for grabs, sponsored by Twitch, Star Series, and of course Dreams Media. So Virtus.pro are playing not flawlessly in the past. They especially lost against NAP with a 6-16 scoreline on Inferno and Mirage on the SLTV LAN finals. And they lost against TSM 12-16 on cash. But I consider TSM to be stronger than mousesports, so Virtus.pro should take cash home. Maybe if they have a few mistakes, or if mousesports has somebody step up massively, the Germans could come out on top. But it's highly unlikely. Let's see what they are able to do. Virtus.pro winning the knife round, deciding to stay on the CT side. And mousesports with the uphill struggle to start with. GOCL, of course, the legendary in-game leader, is feeling quite confident on the terrace side, even though he doesn't pick up all the frags. He is a really good caller. Chris J with the opening frag. Another one onto Bialy. Nico with one as well. Now it's next time to fight back. He's under heavy pressure already, going for the reload after he ran out of bullets. Was, of course, the death sentence for him. Neo now the last man standing against 4 terrorists. He's being pushed from behind and from the front. And that doesn't end well. Chris J with his third frag of the round. mousesports 1-0. Up on the terrorist side. Now they need to overcome the CT second round, which is, of course, not as dangerous as the terrorist second round with all the Tech 9s, but the CTs are still dangerous with the 5.7s. A deagle for Bialy, and the first frag in favor of the terrorist, but Snacks makes his P250 work on GOCL. Good frag to draw it back to a 4v4. Now the CTs with the rotation going on the A bomb side. Pass with a stellar frag on Legia, but then goes down to Nico's AK headshot. 3v3. CTs stay in the game. Somehow Snacks got his hands on the UMP that was dropped early on. Tapson will remove Bialy from the A bomb site, making it a little bit easier to put down the C4, but the terrorists are still waiting and waiting for a few frags, and they waited long enough for Tapson to pick up 3 in the round to finish it off. 2-0 in favor of mousesports. Looking quite nice right now, but of course the CTs are still saving. They're waiting for the rifles, and if we saw the first rifle round, we can roughly tell where this game is going. Virtus.pro can't let mousesports take the rifle round, otherwise it would be at least 4-0 depending on the amount of saves. And that is already a very good scoreline for a terrorist squad in the first half. Now Virtus.pro going for the information in front of B. tabseN is there to invite them to go down, and there he is. One shot is enough to take down Neo. Legia takes 3 to take down Pasha, and Bialy needs 3 to take down Taz from behind. Legia from behind, as Chris J gets the better of Taz. It's a 2v4. Now make that a 1v4 thanks to Goppy's frag onto Bialy, and Nico with an easy kill on Snacks. No problem for mousesports so far. They are staying alive. They didn't die too often, only 4 deaths on the German side, so the money is looking really good right now. Except for Legia, of course, on 150. But the rest of the squad can definitely drop in case of a loss. On the other side, the CTs with the first rifles. No AWP though, and that's a weapon that the CTs can definitely use to put some pressure on the terrace. Snacks though doesn't need this scope at all. He gets a first, and Pasha through the smoke, taking out Legia. Good push by Pasha to just keep the terrorists on their heels. They now need to watch everything, and they distribute their players. Taz takes out Nico on the A bomb side. 2 players are still separated from each other, one at B, one in middle. Chris J and tabseN need to work together to make it happen for mousesports. Otherwise Virtus.pro will win a flawless rifle round, and it would not only get their economy rolling but also devastate mousesports economy. tabseN now opens up the B bomb site with the frag onto Neo, tosses the Molotov in spawn to keep the CTs from getting back in the site, and Chris J will actually walk through the flames for a second and not planting the bomb. This might hurt the terrorists in the long run of this map, as Pasha takes out tabseN. The CTs are all over the place, swarming and dropping on Chris J, and he couldn't fend off the swarm of flies coming down on him. tabseN still managed to take down one, but the economical damage is not that much to worry about for Virtus.pro. 3-1 in favor of mousesports still. But the first rifle round, as I said, will point us into the rough direction. Virtus.pro are doing a good job of keeping the terrorists within reach. Not out of control, or not, you know, they are not forcing them to lose control yet. But they get themselves into a spot where they can take control. Pasha with a push, once again pushing through the smoke. This time mousesports is ready for it. Legia puts him down, 4v4. But he dealt the damage, and Chris J is going down to that nade. Thanks to Pasha's damage, the CTs are now up 1 player, and Nico is down to 30 HP as well. The Germans need to watch out to not run into another Molotov, for example, that Bialy could toss at them. The CTs are struggling on middle control though. This is the opening that mousesports needs right now. They need to catch somebody off guard, and Bialy might be the one to go down. He doesn't know that his teammate rotated. Nico is coming closer and closer. Bialy still doesn't care about his back, as Taz and Neo are both in middle. Taz now gets rid of Nico, covers the back of Bialy just in time. Neo with another one onto Goppy, as Legia gets himself the frag onto Pasha. It's a 3v1, and there's nothing to gain there for Legia. Taz has got a quicker trigger finger, making it 3-2. 1 round separating the 2 teams, and mousesports, of course, need to save right now after giving away 2 in a row. Not planting the bomb in the last round. Going for the Tech 9s though. They have 3 of them in the lineup. Chris J and Goppy are going for the full save. And it's up on the shoulders on Nico, especially as he has purchased armor. He will be the guy to find the frags, to get the opening for his squad, and then have them all pour in like a can that has a tiny hole. The terrorists will swarm into the bomb site as soon as they have that opening. They're trying to make that happen on the B bomb site right now, but they are smoked, and no, not actually smoked, they're just flashed off. They're smoked off from middle for now. They still push through that, forcing Pasha to retreat a little bit, calling in for some help, and Pasha with a 3k, mopping up those anti-eco rounds, frags really quickly. Taz has 1 on the board as well. 3-3. Virtus.pro are showing mousesports where to go right now. The CT side is of course the favorite side, and the Polish make it count in their rifle rounds. mousesports now back on rifles after saving the previous one, except for Chris J, who is not able to purchase a rifle yet. and he's probably going for the AWP in the later stages of this first half. Virtus.pro is still not on the scope either, so mousesports doesn't need to counter that, so they can push in with the Tech 9. He can be one of the players supporting his teammates at first and then picking up the frags or the AKs that get dropped, or he could just storm into the A-bombs, so go down to Bialy, then have NiKo pick up the refrag and actually make the terrorists have the edge against the CTs. Tapson now with the frag that Pasha just repeatedly pushed through middle. mousesports now needs to have that number covered. They can't allow Pasha to push through. The biceps is way too strong, especially if he's knocking you from behind. He's knocking you straight out, and you need to watch the remaining time of the round. 4v3 though in favor of the mousesports squad. They are lining it up on the A-bomb side, opposed only by Taz over here in the corner. NiKo will be the guy to probably go down to Taz, but then it's up to mousesports what they can do about that push. Taz with the AK, taking out Tapson, taking out NiKo, going down to 19. Goppy finishes him off, but it's a 2v2. Great stand by Taz as the terrorists are moving in. They get flamed off by Snacks. The bomb plant is denied for now. And there is Neo coming in from behind. Quick frags for him. Ligia and Goppy didn't pay attention. They expected both CTs to be somewhere around CT spawn. Virtus.pro abused that fact after Pasha went down in middle. Neo just recovered that opening and he pushed in the same direction. mousesports wasn't expecting another backstabber. So the Germans couldn't pull it home, they couldn't take it home, and they couldn't put down the bomb as well. So now they are back on Tech 9s. Virtus.pro winning the first lead in this matchup. Pasha with a frag on Ligia. Neo with one onto Goppy as NiKo picks up two running frags. Running headshots onto Neo and Snacks. Pasha recovers control of the B-bomb side together with Taz. Great rotation by Virtus.pro, leaving Chris J alone in CT spawn. Cut off from the bomb side and pushed from behind. There was not much that he could do except for picking up 3 magic headshots, and that's not likely to happen if you have two guys pointing their rifles at them. You can't shoot them both at the same time. So Chris J couldn't pick up another frag. 5-3 now in favor of Virtus.pro, but mousesports with the first AWP, and the timing couldn't be better as Neo picked up the scope as well. Virtus.pro looking to seal the B-bomb side with the AWP in the hands of Neo. Snacks is there as well in the vents, covering his teammate from middle. And the smoke will, of course, help the Virtus.pro squad. Look at Pasha and Taz, both pushing forward, both trying to get the attention drawn away from the terrorists. NiKo with one frag, then gets refragged by Taz, and Snacks covers Neo, who gave away his position with the AWP earlier on by just getting a frag. Basically 4v2 in favor of the Polish side. Goppy and Ligia are once again caught in the middle of the map, leaving to fight their way through the CT's rows. Ligia with one headshot doing a good job, but leaves himself being up for grabs against Snacks. Goppy though slipped through the lines, and he's now on the A-bomb side trying to put down the C4 just in time before Snacks is there to capitalize on that. Good flash. Snacks needed to turn away, but Virtus.pro is coming in from every direction, and at least the bomb was planted by mousesports. Still, they need to figure out a way to keep Virtus.pro from repeatedly backstabbing them. Pasha always finds a way, either the first few times just forcing his way into middle. Now he went all the way together with Taz. He went all the way into front A together with his teammate. mousesports needs to cover themselves better if they want to win this match, basically. Virtus.pro will run away with the scoreline if the Germans can't hold them at bay. They will pick up the momentum. And now there's Bialy, for example, going for that push already, putting down Chris J to 32 HP, but somehow the Dutch player could retreat, and he got himself to safety, staying alive just for now, trying to set up his scope on another approach, finding an easy frag somewhere. And Bialy, of course, exposed his position a little bit too much. NiKo had covered that angle for quite some time, waiting for him to get back to the bomb site. Now Chris J takes out Pasha in middle. It's a 5v3, the first advantageous position for the terrorists in quite some time. And they need to get out on top of this exchange. Otherwise, it would devastate their motivation. Taz with one on the A bomb site. Nico still gets him killed with the spray, even though he's down to 11 HP right now. The terrorists are hurt majorly. Christian down to 22, Nico down to 11. One nade could do the trick if the CTs had any nades. Snacks needs to use his AK, and he uses it to take down Lega with a headshot. The rest of the terrorists are not able to get the better of them, but Tabson is there from the middle. Heads up play by mousesports to send him in, delaying the push in the A bomb site, and he had everybody lined up perfectly for him. The two CTs were around here and here, and he of course had the perfect line of sight. 6-4, mousesports finally winning a rifle round. It was much needed for them to keep them in the game mentally. And now Virtus.pro is trying to shut them down, switching their setup with 2 AWPs, trying to have a small surprise in store for mousesports if they push and maybe think, oh, there's an AWP, let's avoid it and go to the other bomb site. Oh, there's another AWP, and let's see where Virtus.pro will take that round. The Germans trying to open up on the A bomb site. It's Nico taken out by Bialy, but he put down Taz to 26 HP and Bialy's down to 47. That's something that the terrorists can still work, but Chris J goes down to Pasha. Now it's shifted towards the CT's direction. 3v5 already. Pasha down to 15 HP. They can't find the frag. Pasha can now retreat into the safer departments of the A bomb site, for example, just holding off a few angles over there, and Snacks just takes the matter in his own hands, taking out Goppy in middle. Tabson and Liga in a 2v4 situation, finding themselves scratching their hands, trying to find out where their teammates went. They all went to the graveyard, and they didn't visit anyone over there. They just got dug in by Virtus.pro. Neo from behind, taking out Tabson and Liga. 2 quick shots with the AWP. Seal the deal, 7-4. Virtus.pro allowed mousesports to get 1 round on the board. And now the cash is screwed for the Germans, as the CTs won the round right after the terrorists got 1 home on their side. Virtus.pro resets the loser bonus. The Germans on a full save, and the Poles are picking up the momentum once again. Snacks in middle. Liga was just jumping at him. Easy frag for the Pole in this fight, and another one for him onto Tabson. It is of course anti-eco round, not much to worry about for Virtus.pro, especially it was not even a Tech 9 round or something like that. It's more or less easy for them to take care of that. Goppy makes it a little bit harder with a frag onto Snacks. He even picks up an AWP. This could be awkward for the CTs if Goppy finds the kills, but has him covered from below. Goppy was just walking out into the open, probably didn't even expect to get that frag on the board. 8-4 in favor of Virtus.pro. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 14 frags for Taz, 11 for Pasha, and even though Bialy performed really great on Cobble, he's now sitting at 4 frags, probably didn't see too much action so far. 11 now for Tabson and 9 for Nico on mousesports. So Mouse going for the AKs. They once again only have a Tech 9 for Chris J, but he's waiting for the AWP to be up for grabs. And maybe they will use him a little bit wiser than they did before. Tabson running into the crosshair of Snacks. Easy kill for them. As Neo flashes his teammate out, Snacks can retreat without even losing a single point of HP. Goppy though has spotted somebody in the smoke, and he is going to hose them down. Snacks is out. Goppy needs to expect somebody else to be around there. Couldn't be possible to throw those smokes as he's driving away, and Neo is there to cover Goppy as he's trying to inch forward into the B bomb site. 3v4, make that a 3v3 as Lega finally gets a frag onto Taz after exchanging a few bullets in middle. Pasha is there to recover control on the frag on Lega. Bialy just chimes in with a quick frag, just turning around. Oh, there was some action in middle. Let's get that done. And Chris J is alone on the B bomb site. He has it under control. He doesn't know yet, but there's nobody around. He could plant the bomb uncontestedly if he just knew. Now Neo is on his way, and he will come in from another angle that Chris J doesn't expect probably. Now Neo gives away his position. Chris J is scanning the rough vicinity, but Neo has him covered. Chris J didn't get his aim settled in time. 9-4. Virtus.pro looking strong on the CT side despite the weak start after the pistol round. Well, they saved. You see that yourself. So it wasn't necessarily a weak start with a 6 rifle round streak. Almost 6. It was 4 rifle rounds. So Virtus.pro doing really good on this first half in the CT side on cash. Now mousesports coming in with the Tech 9 train, trying to break the momentum. Liga finds himself the frag onto Neo. Now he's flashed off. He needs to retreat. Nico is down to 4 HP. They need to plant the bomb sometime soon. The CTs are coming in from every direction as Christian takes out Taz. Bialy with the refrag, made it a 4v3. Now a 3v3 thanks to another frag, courtesy of Bialy, who's finding his kills right now, trying to pick up where he left off on Cobble. Snacks and Goppy will exchange frags, making it a 2v2 again. And remember, this is an anti-eco round for Virtus.pro. They didn't do their job necessarily as Bialy and Snacks finally come out on top of the mousesports squad. Was a 3k needed by Bialy, and when they need him, he's there to save the day for Virtus.pro. Both AWPs get saved on top of that. So the economical damage that got dealt by mousesports is somewhat not, you know, nah, it's not that much. mousesports though, back on the rifles thanks to the bomb plant, and they got 3 kills, so they... Let's see if they can drag that momentum that they gained in the last round by taking down 3, almost winning the round into this round. Chrissy already puts down Bialy on the A bomb site. Finally, he gets an opening frag. It was much needed for mousesports. They were on the receiving end too many times, and he just pushes in with a no-scope onto Pasha, sweeping the A bomb site. It's only Snacks left in there, and they didn't check every corner. Snacks with a frag onto Nico. Chrissy just pushed through to CT spawn, completely ignoring Snacks. Now just briefly goes back to picking up. Easy fragging, so Chrissy 3 kills for him in the round. Neo is left alone in middle, and the terrorists already surround him. They are looking for that weapon in the hand of the legend. Neo is on the hunt on himself. He's not hitting any shots though. Just trying to fend off the terrorists with his AWP and switching back from the 5.7 and the AWP every single time. He does try to get the kill onto Tapson, who's just stinging him in the back. He is the dog that I talked about earlier. He's now crammed in his ankle. Neo gets him killed. Finally opens up, and finally he can stop worrying about his back. 2v1 situation though. Goppy and Ligia holding onto the bomb. It is ticking quite fast. Neo cannot make it anymore, and mousesports make it 10-5. It is not the best scoreline, but it is quite equal for both teams. They both can work with that. Depending on the pistol round, we will see where this match is going. mousesports could have a few more rounds on the board, definitely, but Virtus.pro just didn't allow them to get anything, basically. They were just coming in from the back in, I think, 3 or 4 rounds in a row. Pasha pushed through middle and completely devastated the mousesports squad over there. They were just, you know, nice and cozy around there. Somebody was cooking tea, you know, just hanging out there waiting for the smoke to fade, and then there's a big biceps coming through the smoke, putting down 2, and the party is destroyed from that point on. mousesports couldn't recover in those backstab situations. They couldn't reset their strategy. They couldn't do anything about that, and it lasted quite long. As you can see, they needed 6 rounds to figure out how to overcome the CT's defense, and even then it was a 2vx situation in the end. So mousesports not looking good on the terrorist side. They need to pick it up on the CT now with a 5.7 for Nico and a CZ75 for Ligia. On the other side, we have only one Tech 9 for Taz and a P250 for Bialy. The rest with stock pistols and, of course, a few grenades in the hands of the Poles. They are pushing into the middle with all their players. Basically, Bialy is now going for B, trying to find an opening over there, shifting the CTs around. Of course, would make the job easier on the A bomb set, and Bialy gets a kill onto Tapson. Neo is there as well. Christian needs to stay there, and he's kind of cramped in. He can't rotate anymore. The terrorist on the B bomb set already, but somehow the call didn't get out. They must have ignored Christian completely. He didn't get the frag so far. Now he's pushed by Pasha. Taz is ambushing Ligia on the rotation. Nico Niku does get the kill on Snacks, but GOCL is not aware of the presence of Taz, and it allows him to go for 2 more frags. 11-5. Pissed around in the back for Virtus.pro on the terrorist side, just like mousesports did in the first half. Now the Germans shouldn't worry about that, you know, they won the piss round as well. Even if Virtus.pro make it 13-5, it is theoretically a start of a new game on the second half. But it still gets into the minds of the players. That's something really funny. Because they see the 13-5 scoreline and they think, oh, we are losing the game. And then the pressure is up on the Germans. Bialy keeps it as high as possible with that first frag onto Legia. Doesn't allow the CTs to get anything on the board. Now Niku just squeezed that bullet into Neo's head. Quick frag for him, but it's not enough for the CTs. 2v4 now. The A-bomb set is under control for the terrorists. Tabson and Chris J are coming in from behind, but they are expected already. Taz with his much loved Tech 9 Sandstorm. I will give away one of those after the game. I just decided. Taz is having his Tech 9 Sandstorm, so I will give away one of them after this game. So 12-5 now in favor of Virtus.pro. mousesports still saving, and the Poles are on a roll right now. Still an MP7 for Pasha and a Tech 9 for Snacks. 3 rifles are enough to make it happen for the Poles right now. mousesports trying to find a way to overcome the terrorists in those anti-eco rounds. They're trying to make it as expensive as possible. Maybe save a rifle for the upcoming round or something like that. But Snacks doesn't allow that to happen. Neo supports him nicely, keeps his teammate alive, makes it a 3v5. And Niku down to 24 HP. He can't do much anymore without armor. He's basically an easy frag for anyone that he runs into. And it's going to be Pasha to put him down. 1v5. Legia with a USP in the CT spawn alley. Faced by a smoke push from the side. Oh, he might get the kill onto Pasha. But Bialy saving his teammate with the Galil. 35 bullets spray through the smoke. 13-5 now in favor of Virtus.pro. mousesports on the first rifle round. And Chris J picking up the AWP. Instantly going for that. He wants to have it. And mousesports doesn't have any head armor whatsoever. So they're trying to save money on that account, I think. Or no, they couldn't actually afford it. So they're going for more equipment, less head armor, and that is punished by Taz and Snacks getting 2 early frags, leaving the CTs with a few holes in their lineup. Taz trying to push through the smoke and get Chris J on his back foot. Oh no, it was Nico actually. Taz with the kill in middle. The A-bomb site is still not swept though. Chris J takes down Bialy. Taz has CT spawn under control. Takes out Tabson. Chris J still turning left and right. Trying to fight his way out of this precarious situation. It Snacks relieves him of the pressure and makes it 14-5 in favor of the Poles. 9 rounds between them and the Germans. This is not looking good for mousesports at all. They must have... They needed the rifle round, and there was no way around that. If they didn't get the pistol round, which they didn't, they at least had to pick up the rifle, and they failed in both of those tasks. Now they have a scout to work with, but is taken out already. Tabson with 1 frag. Oh, Tabson with another one. Then Snacks' time shows up. Gets himself 2 kills. Then GOCL takes out Pasha somehow. The CTs are stronger with the pistols than they are with the rifles. 2v2 situation, almost equal distribution of HP, but the terrorists have armor and head armor as well. The CTs only have armor and only 1 smoke to work with. The terrorists still have a nade and 2 flashes, so they can still anti-flash or slow the CTs down, and they drop right in front of Taz. Great play, great position by him. GOCL and Niku didn't check their corners, and they were in a hurry, of course. They didn't have a defuse kit either, so they needed to hurry up and try to make it as fast as possible. That kept them from checking that corner that Taz was sitting in. 15-5 will now be 10 match points for Virtus.pro. 26 frags for Taz, 24 Snacks. Chris J with a kill, GOCL with 1 as well. Trying to keep their squad alive in this matchup. They want to have their first 3 points in the league by winning this one map. But Pasha kind of demolishes those dreams that were getting into the heads of the mouse players by removing their in-game leader. 4v3 situation. Virtus.pro still don't have to worry about anything so far. They still have 1 minute 7 on the clock, and they could potentially waste 9 chances and they could still win the game. So no worries for the Poles. They can freely play their style. They can try a few things, and they're trying it on the A bomb side right now. And facing Nico is a bad idea, though. Neo goes down to a straight headshot, 2v4 now. There's a few bullets ringing back the head on Bialy, but not hitting him. And he goes to work on Legia, taking him out, making it a 2v3, keeping the squad alive as Pasha goes down to Chris J. Good hit scan by him, but he doesn't know where Pasha is right now, and Pasha is creeping up the CT spawn. Now he's spotted, and it was a death sentence for Tabson. 1v2, still 22 seconds on the clock. Pasha is trying to get his hands on the bomb that is dropped in middle, and Nico is there to close him out. 15-6. mousesports survive one of the match points, courtesy of Chris J and Nico, who picked up 2 frags each. And the Germans live to fight another day. Taz with 26, just like I wanted to say before. 24 snacks. And on the other side, we have 14 for Chris J and 13 for Tabson. Goppy and Legia, though, little separated from their team. Compared to Neo and Bialy, it almost looks the same, though. So it's almost the same on both squads. But the CTs, of course, have less rounds on the board, so they have less frags as well. Virtus.pro still have a few match points to work with, and they have 5 AKs to utilize to achieve the goal of winning this match and making it 2-0. Copy with the first on Neo on the A bomb side, actually. Or was it? 4v5. Chris J down to 14 HP. Copy down to 13. The CTs really need to watch out to not walk into the nade in the hands of Snacks. And they are still in control of the A bomb site. They have Tabson over at B and Goppy in the spawn alley. Pasha, though, is pushing forward, and he's upping the pressure on the A bomb site, where 3 CTs are crammed in. Bialy with the frag onto Nico. 4v4, 3v3, thanks to a refrag by Legia. It's a 2v3 situation right now, and Legia is dancing around the boxes. He's dancing in, he's dancing, almost forcing Snacks to kill his teammate. But somehow Snacks got the kill on Legia. It's a 2v2 now. Goppy down to 11. 74, and Snacks gets the kill. Goppy, though, with a refrag. Now he's a 1v1. The bomb is ticking. Virtus.pro on the match point. Goppy still fighting it out, and it goes down to Bialy. It will be 16-6 in favor of the Poles. 27 for Taz in the end. Stellar performance by Virtus.pro. Right back from the SLTV Star Series into the Go Champions League, sponsored by Twitch and Steel Series. Great job by the Poles to not let mousesports back in the game. So thank you for tuning in. I'm the Boo from Germany, and we will see each other next time, hopefully tomorrow, for a major tournament.